Okay, hello teacher, this is our video for the challenge 12 and 13 of information technologies, where we are going to make our little card with the infrared sensors. So right now I'm going to show you the code step by step, which is going to take a while, but who cares, you asked for it. Okay, first we have velocidad is 110 units. Here in Arduino, we don't measure it in kilometers per hour or meters per second or anything. We just measure it in units. We have the vuelta velocidad 230, which is the velocity that our cart is going to have when it moves. We have top velocidad 125. The top velocity that our cart is going to be 125 units. Alto distancia, the distance which the car will stop when the ultrasonic sensor that we don't have right now sees an object in 12 centimeters. Vuelta retraso, which is the delay that it's going to be when the car moves, is going to be only 10. And here we have this node that it's 0 to 20 to 255 maximum. That is going to be the maximum velocity in the units of Arduino that our card and their motors are going to have, as well as we did in other challenge. Okay, we have again another node saying L298N drive are the motors connection with the digital pins. That is the name of the motors that we have, and here we have IN1, IN2, ENA, and we simply have the digital pins that are the digital pins that we have in Arduino Mega that have the normal numbers. Here I changed them a little bit so that they fitted our circuit, but that's pretty easy. And the note saying how it is two digital pins that are not actually the ones that I have here, but it's just notes. They don't change how our code is executed. Have connection of the line follower sensors. This is just for the two line follower sensors that we are going to have in our card. It is the left one and the right one. Here we have again the digital pins. You can see it. Here it is. We have now a speed of turn, which is going to be for the state of both line follower sensors. We have the left one and the right one in each line. We have long duration and distance, which is the duration that our command is going to be, and the distance, which is the one that our ultrasonic sensor would measure if we had it in this specific circuit, but we don't have it. Here we have the void setup, where our code is actually going to start to execute actions. We have the pin mode with the IN1. It's going to be an output that's from the card that we have in our circuit that's going to put information out to here, so we can do it properly. We have again, but with the IN2 again in output, it's again from the card and it's connected to our Arduino Mega. We have here a node, as you can see, the ENA to be an output. We have the EN3 and IN4. These are other ones that are basically the same but are connected to different parts in Arduino, but that's all really at another node. We have the delay of 3000 milliseconds, so our code will wait that time until executing the next thing for the processing that our Arduino Mega has. We have the void loop, so everything down here is going to repeat itself infinitely until we put an end to it directly from the computer. We have the state of the left sensor and the right sensor in each line. We have the digital reds on there too, so the information that they get, because they are analogic sensors, it's passed to the computer, and we can actually see it in this place right here when we execute our code. Okay. Where were we? Here. Okay. Now the state of the right sensor, which is going to be high, which is another way of saying on, but here in the code and the left sensor state in low. We have a note for a serial print in, turn right, that is going to be just a visual, so we know what is going on when our card does this. Which is the digital write for the IN1 in low, which is like off in some way. Digital write for the IN2 that's high, that's going to be on. The digital write for the IN3, which is going to be in low, and the EM4 digital write, which is going to be on high. Here now we have digital writes for the ANA and ANB in the line below. Here we have the speed, and here we have the speed velocity. No, the turn velocity. Both are analog, that's from the card we have in our circuit, and it's going to be connected to our Arduino, which is going to be connected to this computer, so the code executes very well. Okay, here we have an if, which means if this happens, this is going to happen. If this doesn't, it is not going to. So we have the state of the right sensor in low, which is a way of saying off. Okay, so if it is low, it is a way of saying that it is untrue, that our infrared sensor is not detecting the black surface. It is a white surface because this is a line follower and it follows black lines. We have the state of the left sensor in high, which is correct. We have again a note for the serial print in turning left, which is the visual way of saying this code. We have the digital write for IN1 in high, on, digital write for IN2 in low, off, digital write in YN3 high, on, digital write for the EM4 low, that I have already said that those are some pins that we have in our Cardinal circuit and are going to be here on our code. Okay, but now we have the digital write for ENA, which is the speed of the turn, and the ENB, which is just the speed. Both are analog, here notes, so you can remind it. And the delay, that's going to be the delay of the turn. Now we have another if, and this time is the state of the right sensor, which is going to be low, and the other one low, that it is not detecting any both of them. We have again the serial print that is going forward, just advancing, going forward as the name implies. So here we have again the digital write for IN1, which is going to be low in this situation, the digital write for IN2 in high, which is on, digital write for the IN3 on high, on, and the digital write for the IN4 low. So we have in all the situations that our card can be on, we do this. The digital write is ENA for the speed, and the ENB again for the speed, that are other pins that we have on our card and are analog, as you can see. Now we have the delay again, which is the delay of our turn that our card is going to do. We have another if. Now this is the state of the right sensor in height and the state of the left sensor in height, that both are on height, you know. So we have the serial print which is stop, so it doesn't proceed and get confused or whatever. It is the digital write in ENA0 and digital write ENB0, which are analog. And when this happens, it is true. Okay. Here we have, if distance is minus than the stop distance, then then we have the digital writes to execute the A and Y, which is going to be high, A and 2 low, A and 3 low again, A and 4 high, and we have a delay of 250 milliseconds for it to wait until it continues doing another digital write for the ENA0 and ENB0 in the line below. That are again nodes, so we remember that these ones are analog. If we need to change something, or we think that something is not working, we may take a look at this. We have a delay of 500 milliseconds, the double that we had before. Okay. Here we have other digital writes that are IN1 high, 1 A and 2 low, AN3 high, and AN4 low. Now we have analog write. That is going to be for analogic procedures in this circuit. We have E and A at top velocity, and the other analog write in E and B top velocity again. These are analog. As you could see, we have the nodes just for quick access, and we have a delay of 900 milliseconds. Okay. So we have now digital writes of IN1 in low, IN2 in high, IN3 in high again, and IN4 in low. This is what we have already done, just we have it here for this situation. We have the digital write in E and A at top velocity, and in E and B at top velocity again with a delay of 800 milliseconds, and the nodes for analogic. We have the digital write of IN1 in low, IN2 in high, IN3 in low, IN4 in high, and the delay of 900 milliseconds. We have a digital write IN1 low, IN2 high, IN3 high, and IN4 low, and now a delay of 700 milliseconds. Okay, here we have again more digital writes for their situations with is IN1 in low, IN2 in high, IN3 in low, and IN4 in high, with now a delay of 650 milliseconds. Okay. Okay, continuing now with the last parts of our code. Here we have another digital write which is for AN1 low, AN2 high, AN3 high, and IN4 low in their respective lines. Have the state of the left sensor, which is going to be high or on, that is detecting the black line. We have here a while, which is the state of the left sensor, which is now low, that is not detecting it. Okay. So now we have again the state of the left sensor as a digital red for sensor izquierdo, which is the left sensor. Now the state of the right sensor is a digital red again, but now for our right sensor. Okay, the serial print in is in the first while. That is going to be what we are going to see, so we kind of know what is going on with our card. Okay. Now we have again digital writes for IN1 in high, IN2 in low, IN3 in low. Here a space, I don't know why. Here a IN4 in high, and a delay of 100 milliseconds. And finally we have digital writes for IN1 high, IN2 low, IN3 high, and IN4 low with a delay of 500 milliseconds. And basically that's the whole code that we are going to use for this little card to work. Explain line by line. Now we are going directly to our card. Okay, here is my card. This is the one that my team has been working on since the last 2 weeks. So this card is a completely mess, but everything is connected, so I'm simply going to show you every bit of it, so you understand it step by step. Okay, I'm going to take this. Okay. Here we have our Arduino Mega, and here we have a lot of stuff going on. I'm going to explain in the best way as I can. Okay. First of all, here we have the ground, which is this white cable that I have connected to this mini breadboard that we bought to this car, because the big one wouldn't fit in this chassis, which is from Steren, and it's designed for another kind of circuit. So this is also a little difficult to fit in, but we managed to do it. Okay, now it goes here. This resistance, it's completely useless. I just have it there because why not? Okay, so I used this part of the mini breadboard to have the 5 volts in this place and the ground in this place, and I would only connect the cables anywhere here depending on what they needed. So it is a little easier to manage in our circuit. This is the same that we did with the ultrasonic sensor and the LCD display. There is a little space in there. Okay. Oh well, I moved them, but I did that because I still need space for the ultrasonic sensor that is going to be here, but that is going to be on the next version of this card when it is done. So these cables are for the line followers sensors that we have here. You can see them. These are an ster and are black. Only have 3 pins. It's really good. Here we have the infrared sensors to detect if the line or the background is white or black, so it can follow them along. Okay, here we have a focus. Here we have, okay, it's upside down, but who cares? We have the ground, the balls, and the S, which is the digital pin. So it is really easy to understand this one. The ground, simply I connect it here to the line of the ground. The balls, I connect it to the line of the 5 balls. Please don't mess that up. And now the S, I actually have an extension for it, and I have it connected. I have it connected in some of these digital pins. I think they are, yes, they are these ones. Is it 22? Is it 22? Yes, and that's what I changed in the code. Okay, so the right ultrasonic sensor, where it is over here. It is the same. If it focuses, it is the same. Okay, it is the same. Just like connected alongside and to the 24. Yes, the 24 digital pin instead of the 22, because I can, well, I can connect 2 cables there, but it will be awful. So there is our mini breadboard. Here we have this thing this is the plate that we are going to use to control our motors that we have down here. Okay, first with the simple part, because that's terrible. Okay, so here we have first the ENA. You may recognize that because we talk about it on the code. So if you follow the cable, it is connected here to our Arduino digital pin 2. And well, I'm going to skip all of this to show you easier the EMB, which is this gray cable, which goes right into the digital pin number 4 in our Arduino. You can see it there very clear. It's very nice. Okay, so now here we have IN 1, 2, 3, and 4. You read that a lot of times in the code, and here we have them at digital pins at our Arduino, so it works. And it is a little moved, but they are simply attached to their digital pins, so they function with the code. Now I'm going to turn this a little bit to explain this, which is it's confusing, but it's okay. Okay, here I connect both cables that are welded into our motor that I'm going to show you in a moment. Here in the right, it's exactly the same thing. It's the 2 cables welded to the motor. And in here we have the ground, that's simply a black cable connected to the ground of our Arduino. And we have here the 5 volts. This is for using a 9-volt battery, just as this one. But I dropped it and it got out of this thing, and I don't have a small enough tools to screwers to unscrew it and put it again. And if I do it by force, that's just terrible, and it's going to end up like this, and I don't want that. But right now I have it connected to a computer, so it won't be a problem for this time. Just I need to connect it whenever I go to school, but it's really easy. It doesn't take any long. But here we have the positive and the negative one, and the negative one, and we put it in there, and that's all. And it can turn on the Arduino without being connected to a computer. It's not rechargeable, but who cares? It was really expensive at OXXO. Why do you do this to us, teacher? But it's okay. Okay, now this is the easy part. It's the chassis of our little car. Okay, this chassis is from Steren, but that's all. And it has space for these wheels, these remarkable plastic wheels with these serrations so it doesn't drift. I don't know why they did that. If it drifted, it would have been awesome, but who cares? Okay. Well, the right one, no, the left one, this is the good one. It has plastic teeth that we used to put it here, as it should be according to the chassis, but we've got one, so we have cinchos of plastic. And I'm going to take, well, no, I'm not going to take it out, but it's really easy. I'm going to show, okay, yes, I'm going to do it. Wait a second. Okay, it was that easy. Okay, so you can see here are motors that are these. These are simple motors. You just put the wheel in there. You don't actually need anything else. And here, if you can see it, we have welded some cables. They are not connected. They are welded. Your professor helped me do that. That's very nice. They don't fall. They don't fall. As easy as it sounds. And here we have the best crazy wheel. That is like the wheel from a shopping cart. It just rotates everywhere. It's really good. I'm not sure how good you can see it. Okay, you can see it, but it goes anywhere. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put that wheel again. I'm going to submit the code and you're going to see what happens with our card. Okay, so now I simply submit the program. I have the USB connected to my Arduino and look what happens. The card does not move, but it turns on pretty lights. As you can see, the one in the Arduino is working well. The one in the motor control is doing well. And here we have our infrared sensor. And look at this. It turns on, it turns off, turns on, turns off. Because of the distance. This is what the line follower is for following the line, so it reacts. But the card is simply not working. Well, what I mean is the wheels are not moving, the motors are not reacting, so it is standing still, but a considerable part of this circuit is doing well. And the code has really helped. So that's basically our card for today. We're going to complete it in the next classes and put everything prettier with some tape, so it looks better. Okay. Thank you for watching this video. I'm going to play with this blinking light.